Namaskar. This morning we discussed on the forms and formlessness and the relativity between the forms and formless existence. We can say that what Papaji used to mention, that nothing ever existed, or you neither came nor will you go, these things. Actually, it was Papaji's teachings which were discussed in light of the dream of my father, whom we lost in 21. So, and this has changed my perspective on the dreams, but that is a separate issue. We can talk about it later. What was discussed was that various forms, that is, say, this is one form, this is the other form. And similarly, there are so many forms. Rather, let's take it, there's a room. In this room, there are 4 or 5 people. All these people can talk to each other, and they can see each other, they can feel each other bodily. Now they are working, they are talking also, and all of a sudden, one of them, he collapses, his body is taken and cremated. So now there is no form of that person, but that person is existing there in a formless state. Let's take it this way. Suppose these are the 2 forms we are talking about. This form, the contents of this form and the contents of this form are exactly the same. They are interacting with each other through the eyes, through the ears, through the nose, and all those 5 senses. Now, all of a sudden, these external elements, external equipments of this person have vanished. They have gone to where they emerged from. But the contents of this form are here only. They have not gone. They are here. Now, this form can interact with this form. This formlessness interacts with this form, because this form is now, it has gone to where it came from. So now this formlessness is interacting with this form, but this form hasn't developed his inner capabilities which are inside here. He is only dependent on these external 5 senses, and therefore he is not able to perceive this formless existence here. But it doesn't mean that this formless existence is not there. It is very much here. He is not able to see. So, in dreams, when he is sleeping, that time these senses are not working. So the inner formlessness and this inner formlessness find it easier to interact. Because so far in the waking state, these 5 senses were acting as a barrier. Now these barriers are not there and he is able to interact. It is just this simple thing. Like the children on the seashore, on the beach, using sand they construct so many forms, and after the work is done, their play is through and they just dismantle everything. The forms, they are removed, they get washed away. But that was inside the form remains there, it doesn't go. This is how my interactions with Papaji have been. I am able to, by his grace, I am able to experience the state where these five senses of mine, they do not act as a hindrance when I am interacting with him. Or so to say, when he is interacting with me, when he is giving some guidance, instructions, or when my father this morning, he gave instructions which are there in my mind. It is something like a situation where the saltiness of the salt, we take a cube of salt and put it in a glass of water here. Now, this water is a form and this salt is a form. It gets mixed. Now, there is no separation of the salt and the water. It is one. Similarly, we experience the separation because of the five senses and because of the walls that have been made, the walls of this body and the limitations of these senses. This is how we experience. This salty water, when taken in 2 glasses, becomes 2. But the salty water, which contains the salt as the ingredient, is the same here and same here. It is this water which has been partly poured in this, and they both have water now, salty water now. But the salt is the same, water is the same. It is in 2 different containers, that's all. It has been placed. Now, this is a glass. This glass breaks, and I put this water in a cup. So, water is the same, salt is the same. Now it is in a cup. The glass, that form of the glass, where it came from, it goes there, it gets remolded and remolded. This is how things go on. So there is no difference between the form and the formless. The formless and the form is the same thing. The only difference is the limitation provided by these 5 senses. Drop these limitations and you are one. Have these limitations of the 5 senses awake and you are different. These 5 senses will never ever be able to experience or to interact with the formlessness. This is what was discussed. Thank you.